Hi, this is Katie Lynch with BroadwayWorld, and we are here for a super exciting announcement from the notorious documentary filmmaker Michael Moore, who has a super exciting Broadway announcement. Let's go.
The show it's called The Terms of My Surrender, and I will let Michael explain what that is. This terms are very specific, and it will be an evening of storytelling and a kind of call and response with the audience. Michael will be responding to the news of the day, so every evening the show is going to be different in certain ways. We're going to have guest surprise stars throughout the run. As Michael indicated in a discussion we had, his concept is that the event of the show will actually begin as people assemble outside the Belasco Theater and will continue after the show is over. So there might be some impromptu excursions after the show on occasion to places that might be nearby. You can do the math there.
You are known for your films and really pushing the envelope there. Why did you choose not to do a film on the subject, but instead bring it to the stage? And how are you going to push that envelope for the stage?
I think there are things that you can do on a stage live with an audience of 1,000 people that obviously you can't do in a movie or in a book. And that's what I intend to do every night. Without giving too much away, let's just say that the person you came in as will not be the same person, I hope, that you leave as.
As you may or may not know, about a year ago this time, I famously or infamously said that Donald Trump was going to win the election. I think the way to really halt whatever harm he's going to do to this country and to its people is that we need an army of satire. We need an army of satirists. That humor, his Achilles heel is his very, very, very thin skin. And so we need to have a sort of non-violent comedy shiv that we insert ever so slightly under it. And hopefully that will discombobulate him enough to where he won't be able to think out or plan much what he's hoping to do. So that's what we're going to do, starting on July 28th. And it'll go for about 12 weeks. And I've got a great team.
It's going to be different for you. You're used to finishing your product, putting it out at times. How's it going to be performing 8 shows a week for 12 weeks?
Let me just say this. After 1 week, when I did this in London back in the last decade, I had a whole new respect for people that do this every night on the stage. I might have been, I'm not saying this is true, but I might have been one of those civilians who, go to a play and go, well, that's a cushy job, hour and a half a day and they're done. It's like after an hour and a half, I was like, wow, can I sleep for 12 hours now? It's like, so I think that, look, obviously doing something live, I'm not in an edit room, I can't try this 17 different ways. We're not going to do a second or a third or a fourth take. So that, to me, the danger of that is exhilarating and will only bring about something fresh and original and unique every single night in the theater.
I asked the Schubert organization in the Belasco Theater if, we have the beautiful boxes there, if they would reserve each night the presidential box for President Trump and his family. And every night the box will be there and it'll be empty until he sits there. So I hope he comes to see it. Or his family, or the vice president. We won't boo him.
As we've kind of noted, this is like New York audience, right up their alley. But you chose the summer, so you're going to get lots of tourists. What could you say to your tourist audience to get them to come to your show?
I think the fact is that if they know it's Michael Moore, you know, what's the Dylan line? The country I come from is called the Midwest. I mean, it's basically, I live in that area that I described between the Hudson River and Interstate 5. And I think that I have a way of speaking to people, not just to the liberal people in New York or on the two coasts, but also out where I live. So I think there'll be no problem. And Europeans and other people from around the world are here in August, and you know, I like the contrarian nature of doing this in the summer.
As far as preaching to the choir, you know, it's been rough for, I think, tens of millions of Americans since the 8th of November. And sometimes the choir needs a song to sing. And I think that this is a necessary and important moment to provide that.
One silly last question. You talk about humor so much. If you were running for office, what would your slogan be?
Why do you say if?
Oh.
What if this was all just, you know, part of the performance art here today? That I might be up to something else. I'm not saying. I'm sorry. If I were running for office, what would your slogan be? What would my slogan be? In by 10, out by 2. That's a dry cleaning sign. I was born above a dry cleaning store. I know it's a long, sad story. Well, I don't know what those dry cleaning chemicals did to me as a baby, but we lived above Kelly's dry cleaners, and the sign said in by 10, out by 2, and I never really understood what that meant when I was a child.
I think that's perfect.